Hey guys, welcome to another vlog. It's currently Monday. First things first, I re-dyed my hair again. I know I just dyed it, but it faded so fast to the point where in the last two vlogs you watched, I changed out what video filter I used to make my hair look more vibrant because it faded so fast. Like, it stayed a purpley pink at the top, but then like only where my roots really were. Everything else just faded completely out. And so I wanted a refresher, and I tried a different brand of dye because the one I used before, not only did it fade quickly, but it left my hair feeling horrid. And it's supposed to be a salon brand dye. I've never had a box dye do that to my hair. Like, it's like when you wash it in the shower, it's so dry and squeaky and grippy and just felt so bad until I added my conditioner. And then it felt okay, but then even after my hair dried, it still was like, it was just dry and gross feeling. So now I don't want to use that brand again. I'm staying away, even though I have a big bottle of Developer now for that dye. But whatever, Developer's cheap. It's not so bad. So I was looking into alternatives, and I tried Joico Magenta. Now this stuff gets everywhere. It's a semi-permanent, not a permanent, and it just comes in a squeezy tube, so I can just kind of squeeze it into my hand with gloves on. Put it throughout my hair. It was very easy to apply, but then when it came time to rinse it out, which by the way is only after 20 minutes, so very quick, it just got everywhere. It's the kind of thing I think you have to rinse out in a sink, not in the shower, because it got all over my body. My entire body was magenta. It was so bad. Even after I had scrubbed my body, exfoliated with this scrubby pad I have all over, I was still so vibrantly magenta. And now every time I shower, I just get pink all over. Again, not to the same degree, but like my hands especially get pink. Like, they were not this pink yesterday because I did not wash my hair, but today I washed my hair. Now my hand's pink. This one less so. My nails I ruined. They were a baby blue, and my nail beds actually look better than before. They were hot pink on the natural nail part, but it's just they're splotchy and it got everywhere. And even like my neck gets a little pink every shower, and my ears are still pink, and the collars of my shirts get pink. So I'm trying to not wear anything that I wouldn't want to get pink on. So I'm avoiding my pastels, but I feel like I don't look that good in black, and I don't have that many black clothes to begin with. I've got this, which is not really dark, but it's just an embroidery blank, and so I'm sure it'll be okay. So I don't know if I want to use this again. It was a big struggle, and the whole shower also had to get scrubbed down, because even if I rinse my hair out in like a tub or sink, I would have to do that for at least the first week. It's not like a one-time rinse out and then get in the shower, you know? But yeah, I always get 2 hair dyes when I buy hair dye, because I don't know if it's enough to cover my whole head, because just saturating my roots takes so much dye. But the tube was enough. So I have an unopened one, and I'm like, ugh. Might just return it and try something else. There's a Wella magenta pink that looks tempting, and I already have Wella Developer, so I might try that next. Anyway, enough hair talk. On to the next thing. My email newsletter. I have a mailing list you can sign up for, and I accidentally deleted everyone off of it. So here's what happened. The plan costs a certain amount of money depending how many subscribers you have, and I've been hovering below 5,000 for so long, and then I finally went over 5,000, and I'm like, well, surely there are some people who aren't even opening the emails, or like when I first made the sign up list, I was hosting a giveaway, so maybe people signed up with email addresses they don't use, or like a family member's email address. So I was like, surely I can delete some of the ones that aren't even looking at the emails just to get back down under 5,000. And so I was deleting some, and I had done a few rounds of deletions, and the last one I had 13 people selected, and it was like, are you sure you want to delete these? Like, you might want to back up the spreadsheet of people before you do this. And I'm like, it's just 13. I don't need those 13 back. Like, I don't need to do a backup. And so I delete, and then after the deletion occurred, it showed everyone's email addresses selected, and I was like, oh, that's weird. So I clicked the little check to deselect all, and the page refreshed, and everyone was gone. So I think somehow when it had those 13 selected, it then selected all of them somehow and deleted everybody. Now on the plus side, I did have one backup because when I did that giveaway, when I first created the mailing list, I exported everybody so I could use a random number generator to pick the winners, that sort of thing. So I did have that, which had about 4,300 people on it, which is obviously most of the people. So I have most of you back, but it's only those of you who subscribed at the very beginning. So you might want to re-sign up. And if you're not sure you are in the list already, just try signing up again because it won't add duplicates on my end. So it doesn't hurt to sign up again. And I was also nervous. I was like, well, if I upload this spreadsheet, what if there are people in there who unsubscribed and now I'm adding them back? But thankfully the software automatically detected who had previously unsubscribed, which is about 200 people, and did not bring those people back in, which was great. Because again, I was scared people signed up like family members for the giveaway and I'm like, oh, I don't want to spam people. But thankfully it did not bring those people back in. So I have most of you back, but the list is from over a year ago. It was from June of 2024. So if you subscribed in the last year, you're not on the list and you're gonna have to resubscribe. And I apologize. I learned my lesson. Back up the list, even if you're just deleting a few people off of it. So the list is currently sitting around 4,100. So it's not that far off from where we were, but still. So yeah, I'll have a link at the top of the description to the newsletter sign up page on my website. Now, next order of business, the coloring book. The sample came in, so I'm going to include some clips of me opening up the sample. It's the coloring book sample. Ooh. Your $135 book, yeah. So they cost $135 each. I'm going to be selling them for $300 a piece. Oh, it's just the sample because I only ordered one. This just shipped out last night. That got here fast. Now this is dummy cover art because I don't have the cover designed yet. Oh my gosh, the spine almost wraps around. I just grabbed a random part of the illustration to use as the spine, but it's only like 2 millimeters off from actually wrapping properly. That's nuts. This was just a test. I also got to see if this barcode is scannable at that size because that's 100% scale on that barcode. So I could like make it bigger, but it'll just stretch the pixels. Maybe there's a different setting I can use when generating the barcode, but oh, that's a hefty cover. I picked the thickest cover and the thickest paper. Oh, that's even thicker than I thought it was going to be. Yes. Okay. You can also print inner cover. So I did a pattern, although I don't know if I'm actually going to do any inner cover printing on the actual one. I might just leave that plain. But there's going to be some kind of introductory thing. The lighting's not the best today. It's a dark and dreary day. I like the size of the borders, the margins. It was cut closer to the side, like the border's narrower on the side than it is top and bottom, just with how they trimmed it. But each book's going to be cut slightly differently, so that's not something I really should change. But like spacing to the spine, it looks pretty good. They had a template for like a safe zone, and I stuck to that for the size. So it's repeating the same illustrations throughout because, yeah. And I also got to try out the paper with my markers. And it better work. It feels really nice. And it's soft touch. Just like my art prints. It feels just like those. Okay. That's like a good thickness too. It's 40 illustrations, single-sided. Again, this just repeats the same illustrations. And the text page is a tester. I like it a lot, actually. It's even better than I thought it would be. Okay. I'm going to try scanning it. I don't have any kind of like software open or anything, but the scanner should beep if it detects the barcode. Boom. Yay. Doot. That's hefty. Like, look at this thing. Can you hear that? What's also funny is this is the 130-pound cover cardstock. You can pick 110 pound, so it's thinner, but it's more expensive, like quite a bit more expensive. There are other thinner weights below that as well, because I'm like, is this too thick of a cover? Again, I'll try cracking the spine and like laying it flat. I'll do that later. Now, as you could see, I was very excited about opening the sample. I was live streaming that day, so I didn't have a chance to test it out, but I was very optimistic. And then I tested it out. But yes, here is the sample coloring book with unfinished art. The cover's not going to be full color like this, and there'll be text and, you know, all of this is going to be different. But I just had to submit something so I could get a sample book quickly, because I was not done the illustrations, and I'm working on the cover today. So yes, this was from Mixam, their coloring books, and I picked the thickest cover and the thickest inner paper. Now, one thing I'm noticing is some slight fuzziness around objects wherever there's white space. So I see it on this page. I don't see it around the text, but I do see it on the coloring book pages where like it's not just black and white. There's almost like gray fuzziness around the lines, and it's not a low resolution thing. It's just there. I don't know why. But I also know Mixam uses different printers for small print runs versus large ones. So the actual book, the cover color could look totally different and the inner pages could look different. So like I'm realizing the sample was kind of a waste. Not entirely though. I'm still glad I did it, but I still don't know how the final ones are going to look in relation to this specifically. But I did learn some important things with this. My lines, I think, are too thick for a lot of my illustrations. This one's not so bad, but other ones like this, I think it's too thick. And like this one. And then you guys are telling me that some drawing apps let you change the thickness of your lines after the fact. As far as I know, Photoshop does not do that. I'm sure if these were done in Illustrator, I could do that. I don't have Illustrator, I could get it. But Photoshop has a feature to thin out the lines, and I tested it and it works out really well. You go filter, other, maximize, make sure it's set to round, not square, and then you can play with the values. So I can thin out the lines of all my artwork and it will look really good actually. Because even like Ducky, I think that's too thick. This one for sure looks too thick. So yeah, I'm gonna tweak. That one also too thick. This is some of the earliest stuff that I did on the iPad. So some of the later art might not look quite the same, but I tested Gazebo Cats. I printed it off just on my printer to see. So these were, which one's the original lines? This one. Because this one was using thin lines to begin with since it's so heavily detailed. And this looks not too bad, but I tried thinning out the lines a bit and it looks even better. So I plan to go through all the illustrations and thin them out just to improve upon it a little bit. And I might thin the outer border a little bit too. We'll see. I feel like my border doesn't look as thick on my paper as it does in the book. And that's maybe part of the problem. The lines look extra bold in here. So I'm going to thin them out just so they for sure look good. And I kind of bent in the spine on this in a few spots because you can squish it down so that it's flat. It might pop up a little bit though. That's why I'm like, should I do thinner cover? Like maybe thinner cover would lay nicer. Otherwise you might need to weigh down the other side. But this paper thickness is amazing. Cover feels ultra premium, but is that really necessary? I don't want to go down to 110 like I was saying, but I can go one lower. I don't know what it is. I can't remember. Is it going to be 100? Is it going to be 90? I'll take a peek. But I want to give the paper a coloring test as well, just to see how it behaves. It just feels like cardstock. I'm sure it'll be fine, but I just want to see. Let's stick Halloween Cats back there and go in with a little bit of marker. I'm trying to see how much it's bleeding across the paper as I color. And it is the teeniest bit, but not much. Okay, maybe I should slow down. I went outside the lines. The color looks nice and solid though. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And I just want to scribble at it with my colorless blender where there's ink. Boy. No. Oh my God. It's also erasing. First, I used the dirty corner of my eraser, which smudged a bit, but wow. Okay. Is that like a laser thing? Are they using laser? Well, that was my laser printed paper. It's not doing that. Because what if I'm using just like a light color and I'm coloring around like this? Is this going to be smudging and bleeding into it? I can't tell how much of that is smudging and how much of that just is the dotted lines around it. Okay, well, I mean, at this point, I kind of need to reach out to Mixam and inquire about their other printing process and see if I can get a sample, even if it's like maybe a spare book they have lying around that someone else's, because like they might not want to set up the printers to make one sample for me with their bulk printer, but if I could just receive something to test the quality, because this is not cutting it, which is so sad because I had such high hopes. It was feeling so nice, but the timeline's already cutting it so short, because even if I get another sample in, that's going to set me back, and I don't have time for that. So this might officially have to get pushed to next year. Oh, I wanted it before the holiday season so badly, but I'd rather take my time and put out something top notch instead of rushing it. So I'm doing some cleanup on all the line art where I'm duplicating the layers to highlight areas I've left behind and didn't fully erase. So here's 4 layers of the meaning stacked on each other. I can see little pieces here, here, here. Up here, there's a couple dots on the leaf, so I'm going through and erasing all that. I will say this filter to thin the lines is causing some extra work, because where there are 2 lines close to each other, it kind of gets gray, so I'm going in and erasing that. And then anywhere where 2 lines meet, like at a very, like a small angle here, it gets gray in there. And I'm not fixing all of that, but for the more noticeable ones, I am. So I've got some extra work on my plate that I wasn't anticipating, but I think it's going to result in a better finished product. So those coloring book clips were filmed on Saturday, and I'm mostly through fixing up the artwork after doing the line thinning. I have a few more to go through. I only put in about a half day on Saturday. I was feeling really unmotivated. And then Sunday I spent the entire day finishing up my business bookkeeping so I could send that off to my accountant. Don't ask me how the whole 9 to 5 thing is working. It's not working. I'm not sticking to the 9 to 5 thing at all currently. I think it will work during the less busy weeks, but there's just not enough hours in a week for that to work for me, especially since I do the Friday streams. So it was supposed to be like a work 9 to 5, but art can be done outside of those hours. And then like my Tuesday night streams can be outside those hours. But lately there's just been too much to do. Between getting US shipping back up and running, and then the Canada Post strike, and the shop update, the end of year taxes, like it's been a lot. But yeah, we're currently at a point where I have reached out to Mixam, but I haven't heard back yet. I'm expecting a response today now that it's actually Monday and not the weekend. So we'll see what they say, because they do print large volume runs on a different printer, but I'm scared still to commit to the large print run. So as of right now, there's 2 ways this is gonna go. Either I just delay the coloring book till early next year, or if all goes well with what I hear from Mixam and I proceed with the order, I might just have them listed as like a pre-order item, even though they'll still get packed within the shop update, because during the big shop updates, it takes me about 2 weeks to pack all the orders. And so if the coloring books arrive during those 2 weeks or at the end of those 2 weeks, that's when I can pack them. So it really just means your order gets packed last, but still gets packed within the time frame of the shop update-ish. I don't know. It's a play it by ear situation. It's a little disheartening because I've been busting my butt on that, but that's what happens if you try to get it done in a short time frame. Sometimes projects just need time. I want to put out a coloring book I'm proud of. I'm just really nervous if this doesn't work out, where would I get it done? Because I really wanted it printed in Canada. There are a lot of products I can't get made in Canada, and this is one that I can. So am I willing to accept a slightly lesser quality product just to have it made in Canada? And do you guys know of any coloring book printers based in Canada? And I mean like actually printing in Canada, not a company that then gets it printed in the US or China or elsewhere, but like actually printed in Canada that does adult coloring books, not cheapy kids ones. Because I found a website the other day, but then they actually print it outside of Canada. And I was like, well, because like if I'm not going to get printed in Canada, I would just go straight to my sketchbook manufacturer, because I first tried to get that done in Canada, but no one would do the embroidery part of it. So I had to get it made elsewhere. And like they print books, so I could get them to do the coloring book, but I'm trying to get it done here. Like maybe I'm just scrubbing too hard at the paper with my marker, because like when I colored in the beaks of the ducks, it was fine. There was a little bit of bleeding across the paper, but it wasn't smudging the ink until I scrubbed at it more. So maybe I'm the problem. But also those gray fuzzy things around all the lines, I do not want that. Just quickly inserting a little clip to clarify, because I don't want people to take this the wrong way. When I say I want it made in Canada and not elsewhere and not in the United States, I don't mean that as like an anti-American sentiment. I think people should try to source stuff from the countries they live in. Like if you're in the US, try your best to source stuff made in the USA. If you live in the UK, try to source stuff made there. If you live in Australia, it's nice if you can source stuff there. Certain items you just can't get though. And I just don't know what kind of tariffs I would get hit with when ordering outside of the country. That's why tariffs can be a good thing, because it's protecting domestic production. It's incentivizing you to buy stuff made in your own country instead of other countries to protect domestic manufacturing. And when I was criticizing the tariffs in my last vlog, it was mainly how everything is constantly switching and flip-flopping. The amounts of the tariffs keep changing, the dates they're implemented keep changing, and there's like tariffs stacked on tariffs for different countries, and so it's like which ones are in effect now versus which ones are in effect later. It's very confusing and very annoying to deal with. I just turned on the PS4 again. I keep doing that! Oh, I just ejected a disc. Oh! Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 3. Okay, put that back in. But anyway, that's what I meant when I'm specifying I want to source stuff within Canada when possible. I don't mean that to be anti any country at all. Also, let's remember, no politician is above criticism. We should be criticizing our politicians and the politicians in other countries. Even if it's the political party you always vote for, even if it's a politician you directly voted for, you should still hold them to a high standard and criticize the things that you think they're doing wrong. And my tariff criticism was such a minor point. I could have said so much worse, and I didn't. Anyway, back to what I was saying before. Now, although the coloring book might not make it into the shop update, the washi tape will. Woo! I restocked a bunch of old designs, and there's technically a new one, Pink Luna. So all 5 of these boxes are washi tape. Let's open them up, take a look, and start organizing them into some bins. I might end up leaving them in those boxes because I don't know where else I would fit all of the washi, but I at least want to fill 1 bin of each design. Like a small bin that I can fit at the packing station. Right now my washi is all in those narrow ones right there. Now there's a strip of washi on here of male cat, so I'm assuming that's in here, but there's got to be something else as well, I think. There's no way that takes up the whole box. Somebody wants to join in on the fun. Little turd. We trimmed their nails yesterday, so it's not gonna stab me. Woohoo! Oh, I see some of the lace washi in there. Ooh, okay. It looks great at first glance. The The cut looks great. All looks good. I would say the plastic is a little more yellow than the old ones, but that doesn't matter. It only looks that way when it's all coiled up. So this clear washi, it's on plastic, and you have to peel away a plastic backing in order for it to be adhesive. And then it's the white lace design on the clear plastic. Like, there will still be clear plastic in the final washi. It's not die cut around the the lace pattern, but it's transparent, so you can stick it on stuff and just see the lacy bits. It's very cute. That was part of the stationery collection, because when I illustrated the stationery collection, it's obviously got some washi strips and whatnot, and I thought it would be fun to take one of those strips and make it an actual washi. So that's what it is. Although in the big hearts, there's a smaller heart in the center. That's the one difference between that design and the actual washi. But that's how it came to be. Then we have let me step back for a second. Then we have Male Cat. Cute. I want to open it up and like see what a strip looks like. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna. I don't want to take it out of the plastic, because if I do that, then it's my washi, and I have so many of this washi already. But there it is. Ooh, that's nice and vibrant. That might be a little more vibrant than the old version. Yeah, I can really see it in the pinks. The pinks are brighter. This is the new. It's in plastic and this one's not, so it's not 100% fair comparison. I can also see that the older one was a little more see-through. It looks like they used a thicker paper for this one. You really never know what you're gonna get. Sometimes I get them on the thinner, sometimes they're a little thicker. In this case, these did come from 2 different manufacturers, but like this is the same manufacturer I ordered for stationery washi, and it looks like they did use a thinner, more see-through paper for those. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just looking at Male Cat. But I'm very happy with that. Next! Actually, you know what? Not next. I might as well fill the bins for these 2, because then I can put the excess away. Close the box up. Okay, lace washi bin, and then Male Cat. It had the old sticker before I did the Velcro thing. I don't know what I did to this camera to make it hate me, but it constantly switches to manual focus, and I don't know why. It never used to do that. I want autofocus on. That was kind of the perfect amount. What the heck? Next box. And I'm going to hang on to the bubble wrap. I use that sometimes to pack people's orders. So if you ever have bubble wrap, it's because I've reused it from something I've received. Okay, I see Pink Luna. This one I am going to take it out of the plastic because I need to do product photos anyway for this one. Every other design already has photos, but this one does not. Because it's new, technically. It's a recolor of the regular Luna Moth. But you guys love Luna Pink so much, I figured why not? Okay, let me stick that down on a piece of white paper. Because it always looks darker on the roll because it's all layered up. And then when you pull out the strip, it looks a bit lighter. Let's actually use this diamond painting thing. My drawer where I have all my washi currently has the diamond painting stuff in it. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. Pink Luna, wow. And this is a recolor of the original artwork. I changed the color digitally. It's not the flat color version of Pink Luna like I used for the sticker. It's the fully shaded version of the artwork. So there it is. I'm gonna need 3 rolls for my photos. I like to stack up 2 and lean 1 against it. So yeah, I'll take those out. And because it's a new design, it's gonna get a big bin. And then we have stationery. It again looks a little more vibrant than the original one, but I love that. It looks great. I do still have some rolls of the old one. This has been sold out for quite a while. I guess I could have listed some of these. So you don't know which one you're getting if you order this. You'll just get whatever I grab. This is why I find washi under random surfaces. Okay, I feel like there was at least one other rogue one. Where did it go? I don't know. Okay. Okay, let's speed through the rest of these. We have Luna Moth, the regular green one. For apparel, I call it mint, Luna Mint. But on the other products, it's not quite as minty, more green. So I just call it Luna Moth. Video game, oh my gosh, again, vibrant. The magentas were really popping on this print run, and I love it. Fall florals. This one's been sold out for a little while now. It's the sister tape to the Halloween Cats. Same color scheme from the same collection. And I'm struggling to remember right now if I restocked the clear version. I don't think I did. Oh no, I didn't, because I have tons of it because of those B grades. Then, Halloween Cats. And, ooh, more stationery. Then we have Dainty Flowers. Okay, I was like, that can't be everything, because where is the tulip washi and where's strawberry? I see strawberry in there. I falsely assumed there'd only be 2 designs per box. And you know what? I don't think I ordered tulip. I was considering it, and then I found the stash, I think is how it went. Let me look at my order sheet. Wah! But yes, that's everything here. These are the quantities I got of each one. I got a lot of stationery because it was the newest design and it did sell fast. Also 500 pink because that's new. Everything else is about 250 to 300 of each. Washi is thankfully one of those things I can get away with ordering a lower quantity of, especially if I'm ordering multiple designs and it's adding up to a larger quantity. Some places have strict minimums per design, but washi's much easier. And it's inexpensive enough that I can get away with ordering the lower quantities without having to increase the product price. Okay, here's everything laid out in the bins. Stationery, Male Cat, Pink Luna, Strawberry, Fall Florals, Dainty Flowers, Video Game, Halloween Cats, Luna Moth, and Lace. And 2 BBs. Are you BBs the models? Showing off all the goods? Yeah. Oh no, that probably smells heavily of adhesive. Oh, really? Oh, really? Hello? Oh, my sweet babies. Oh my gosh, I've never had this much washi in stock at once. Like this many different designs, because all of these, and they're in the skinny bins too, and then all the ones up here. And then a few pins. That's nuts. Took a break for lunch, and before I ate, I spilt a bit of water on myself, and I was like, okay, whatever, that will dry. Well, it dried, and it looked slightly yellow. Now I'm questioning my entire reality. Did I spill water on myself? It had to have been, because it was before I ate. But anyway, I wiped it down with even more water, so we'll see what happens now. Now, I want to pack orders, because it's Monday, it's mail pickup day. I gotta have these packed by 4 o'clock. Christian is still embroidering some stuff for it, but he's mentioned there was a lot of shirts, so that is quicker than sweatshirts, so I think I could start now. The thing is, I wanted to live stream the order packing, and I might still do that. I'm just nervous because we're having some tech issues today. There's some kind of cloud storage or cloud service outage somewhere in the world. It's affecting a lot of different websites and services, and ShipStation is one of the things that's affected, because they were sending me emails like, oh, there's an issue, oh, we resolved it, but we're still getting reports, so we're monitoring it, blah blah blah. I had ShipStation open, and then it just did this to me. This is when I tried opening it in a new tab. The existing tab is still functional. Because it's okay if I have to refresh a lot and it takes me longer to make the labels, that's fine, because it's not like it's a big shop update where I have to get through a ton of orders. I do have 12 though, which is really exciting, so thank you so much. And that's why I figured it'd be a good one to live stream, because it's a decent quantity. If I only have like 2 or 5 or so to pack, it's not really worth a live stream, but this is a good amount for a stream. Okay, it's still not loading, but can I get to the scan page? Yeah. Seemingly the page I have open is working. So instead of having 2 ShipStation tabs, maybe I just have 1. Because I usually have 1 tab open with the list of orders and then 1 tab open that's set to the scan page where I scan with my barcode scanner. Okay, the outage is with an Amazon cloud service. It affects major websites and apps globally. Issue originated in US site known for previous outages. Recovery rocky after earlier improvement. Gaming and financial platforms among those impacted. ShipStation is among those impacted. So yeah, I cannot get the second tab to work, but the one that's open is working. So what I'm gonna do is do a test order right now off stream just to see if I can actually buy the labels. Because I don't want to go live then be like, whoops, sorry everybody, bye. So let's pick someone's, oh, I was gonna say let's pick someone's order who has one item in it. Oh, it loaded. Okay, I was about to show you the little sidebar was just a spinning loading screen. A small silver floral zip for Jessica. Let's see if we have that. Thank you card and freebie sticker in there. I'm pasting in the order number, clicking find shipment, nothing's happening. Oh, we got through. Okay. Before it sat blank for a long time and then a little pop-up in the corner said order not found. It's slow, but it's working. Now let's see if we can, hey! I was gonna say, let's see if we can buy the label. I mean, I don't have to scan the items. I can do it the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna try purchasing the labels on the main order screen instead of the scan screen. It's struggling, it's struggling. I just want to ship out some packages, man. Anytime there's good news, then there's, oh, I was gonna say it's followed by bad news. Okay, I've clicked create and print label. Come on, give it to me. With how slow this is, maybe I did only need about 5 orders to do a live stream. Okay, it says the label was generated. Where's my printout? Yummy. I tried reprinting the label and I got booted. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to try again tomorrow. Wait, what? Okay, well. We have 1 label. I'm logged out of ShipStation though. Inactivity. I was actively using it. Now, I could try buying the labels directly on the Canada Post website, assuming they're not being impacted. But that does involve doing everything manually, like inputting everything manually, which is a pain in the booty. So maybe we'd be better off just trying again tomorrow. Another interesting note, the order I just did for Jessica, it's not showing as fulfilled in Shopify, so I'm gonna have to manually mark it as fulfilled and enter the tracking number. Now, I can't buy the labels directly through Shopify. They do have a Zonos integration, but only if you're buying their labels. I have much cheaper labels through my commercial account, but I can't access those with Zonos in Shopify. I can only access it through ShipStation right now or Canada Post's own shipping tool, the one that sucks. Yeah, I'm just going to suck it up and use the Canada Post website to buy the labels because I want to do my live stream and I feel like it's too late to cancel the pickup. They're probably going to end up showing up anyway, the Canada Post workers. So I'm just going to pack the orders the slow way. Bella is getting a strawberry sketchbook, the blank white paper. We have to do another test though before I live stream just to make sure this order will go through. Okay, it went off without a hitch. I was able to buy the labels. One thing I really wish they did was the ability to paste entire addresses, because I can copy an address by clicking a button in Shopify, and Chit Chats, for example, lets you paste entire addresses. It'll automatically put the name in the name slot and the address line 1 in the line 1 slot. It's very convenient, whereas Canada Post, it's completely separate entries. I got to paste each line of the address separately and phone number and email. Luckily, one thing that can be somewhat automated is the customs description for items. You can save up to 20 different item types, and I have under 20 different things. A lot of these will still have to be entered manually today, at least once, and then when it's saved, it's good. It should be fine. Although I suppose I probably have more than 20 when you factor in some items cost more, like different sweatshirts have different price points and things. But we'll make it work. Now, that one label I printed off through ShipStation, it requires a manifest, otherwise I get charged a penalty, but I can't get into ShipStation to print the manifest, so I'm just gonna have to send it without. I think it's a $2 charge per package if you don't do a manifest, and then the ones I'm buying through Canada Post directly don't require a manifest, so those will be fine. So I'll pay a $2 penalty on the one package. That's okay. I just made the mistake of climbing up here to turn on the camera because the table's in my way currently. There was grease on here from the heat press and it got on my pants. I'm just covered in stains today. This isn't quite dry yet. Maybe it'll go away a little more. And let's not forget the hair dye stains and then lip tint stain on the middle finger. Okay, the stream is over. Here are all the orders. One more came in during the live stream, so I have a total of 13. Thank you guys. I'm gonna haul those upstairs for whenever the mail people get here, because it could be any time now. It's past 4 o'clock. All right, next step is more line thinning and cleanup on the coloring book pages. I haven't heard back from Mixam yet, but maybe tomorrow. But I just need to keep working at this so I'm ready in case it's go time and time to order. These leaves in the corner of bakery are a menace. I've been at these for so long. Because there are so many acute angles in here, and that's where it fills in with the gray stuff. And I thought I only had a few of these left. A few is more like 10. I got here and up. Yep. All the way up to sunflowers. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 12. Okay. All right, fast forward to another day. Wow. I've been working on the cover. It's not done yet. Do not judge. Okay. I haven't centered the text or done any of the kerning or anything like that. It's just kind of there until I like it, and then I'll do the final placement because I need it centered in the like trimmed area. So ignoring this blue edge, I need it centered in there. You know what I mean? I gotta factor in the trim, but that's what it's looking like. Gazebo cats because it's vertical. It's a vertical artwork that fits the cover. Portrait, if you will. And what I wanted to do was put in the artwork and then overlay the line art so that it has a coloring book feel, but it just looks stupid. So I don't think I'm going to do that. I could do that maybe if I color it digitally and just do flat color with some cell shading. That could look okay, I think. But also this just feels less coloring bookish. It just feels like random artwork, but I think that just looks so clean without any lines. Again, the text has no stroke around it or anything. I just love that look. Now this is with the spine, so the artwork wraps around to the spine, and that's what it looks like. The word coloring book, I did not capitalize the C or the B because I think that looks better. I was wondering if I should because like the B and the J are capitalized, the 2 C's are capitalized. Does it feel weird that this is not? I think it looks way better that way. So that's what I've done. And I've added some extra butterflies in here. I just duplicated the yellow butterfly and changed the colors, made that one a little bit smaller, and that way it fills some of the space. Oh, and to do this, just to get this, look what I had to do, okay? So this is the artwork, and I cut it all apart. I've got all these paths where I use the pen tool and cut out different pieces of the artwork. So the yellow butterfly is on its own thing. There's the gazebo only with the plants. But then there's a version where there's the gazebo plus the ground, because that's what I'm using on the cover. So it's got up to the bush area. And then we've got like the lower left branches, upper left branches. And then I totally forgot to separate out this into two separate ones. I did separate them for the cover, but right now that's just one piece in this document. So I'll have more cleanup to do there. And then I have the front bush as its own piece. I don't know if I'll need that for the book cover, but I was like, well, I'm here. I'm cutting out shapes. Might as well. And honestly, I probably could cut out some of the foreground cats, like just this duo and then just this cat as individuals. But I'm just going to hold off, because what if I don't actually need that for anything? And also for the gazebo cutout, I was like, do I include the background, like the sky part? And I did leave it in. So like in some cases I might want that transparent, in which case I'd have to cut it out. But for what I'm doing right now, I've decided to leave it. The cover does have a slight bit of color in the background. Can you see some diagonal streaks? But I added that digitally, so it doesn't quite match up with what's behind the kitties, but I think it looks good. And then for the back cover, I was thinking of having a border with a bunch of little, like small versions of the coloring pages, like little thumbnails of them as a border, and then some text in the middle being like, this is a Billy J coloring book. I don't know what it's going to say. Contains 40 illustrations. Whatever. It'll say something. But yeah, that's my plan. What do you think? Now, about the coloring book sample that I wasn't happy with. I heard back from Mixam. They said they're looking into the issue, but then I haven't heard back since then. So I don't know what's going on, but they'll let me know when they know, I guess. Here's the thing, though. Even if the other printer doesn't do the speckle thing, I don't think I would proceed with that particular paper, because I was doing some more marker tests and the ink does bleed across the page too much. Like I was trying to be careful, staying in the lines, and then I look back 10 seconds later and the ink is outside the lines. Like it's just traveling across the paper too much. So what I'm tempted to do now is order another sample, but with the slightly thinner paper. So instead of the 100-pound, go with the 80-pound, because it might not be the exact same paper, just thinner. It could be a completely different cardstock. So I kind of want to give that a try. The smudging ink thing, I'm going back and forth about whether or not that's a problem. Like, am I just being too aggressive? Because if I color normally with the brush tip, it doesn't smudge. It's only if you really scrub at the paper. So I'm like, maybe that's being too picky here. But at least those gray dots, I don't want those. And then the ink bleeding across, I don't want that. So waiting to hear from Mixam about the speckles. And in the meantime, I'm continuing to prep. Now, if I go with the thinner paper, that means the spine of the book is thinner. So I'm now working on the cover in a different template that has the thinner spine. It's such a slight adjustment that I can just like paste the layers into whatever template and just tweak it. So that's fine. But yeah, the one I just showed you was with the slightly thinner spine to account for thinner paper. And I am going to get that sample also with the thinner cover as well. I don't really want the inner sheets to be thinner, but that is pretty hefty. Like that is pretty heavy duty. It would still be fine with thinner paper. It's not going to be like the Copic cardstock I'm used to, you know. It's going to have to be thinner if it's a coloring book. But the cover for sure, I think, needs to be thinner. So yeah, once I have like the book done, then maybe I'll order a sample, because I still have to do the inner pages, and I might extend the length of the book by 4 pages, which is 2 sheets, because I like the idea of having a spread where it's just a little thumbnail of every single illustration, and you could use it as like a little tester sheet or something, or planning out your colors. So that would make it 88 pages instead of 84. It's single-sided, so it's like 40 sheets makes up the 80 pages. Then the intro sheet, this spare sheet you can use to put behind a page so your marker ink doesn't bleed through, and then the 2 pages of thumbnails. So yeah, there's where we're at. It's taking longer than expected, but I want it to be right, so it'll be out when it's out. At this point, it's not looking like it's going to be out at all for the next shop update, but I guess stay tuned because I'm going to have to wait over a week just for this next sample. But again, the sample's going to be on a different printer than what they use for the bulk print jobs, like the big high volume, large print runs. So many unknowns, but we move forward. And on that note, I'm ending the vlog because I need to edit it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. It's really hard to draw with my wrist only, Kiki. I need my arm movement. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Look at those little paws, making her little biscuits. Very slowly. Yeah.